What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. In this video, we have some major news in regards to the UFC and AEW. You might be wondering what it's all about. AEW has featured tons of UFC stars lately, and one of them is rumored to be a major signing for AEW in the near future. We're also going to talk about WWE NXT 2.0. There are more NXT call-ups expected, so we're going to give you guys some details on when, where, what, all that good information. Also, we have some GCW news. Yeah, guys, I want to talk a little bit more about indie wrestling and Impact and other things other than just WWE and AEW. So if you guys want more videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. So let's actually kick things off with GCW. As you guys see on the screen, we have an image here of Fandango. Yeah, his whole name thing in WWE was really weird. But here's the thing. WWE did a really, really good job with Fandango. Honestly, when you really think about it, going over Chris Jericho, going to NXT, forming a tag team with Tyler Breeze, like WWE, as much as they dropped the ball with him, they actually did a really good job with Fandango. And he really changed his career from when he was previously known as Johnny Curtis, something that most of you might not even realize. So I want to actually talk about this because Fandango is now going by the name of Dirty Dango, and he's expected to be in GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, which this is actually really, really cool because I think GCW is doing a great job of featuring former WWE talent without necessarily insulting their audience. In fact, I think GCW has done the opposite. I think GCW has done a really good job. Matt Cardona is a fantastic reason or a fantastic example of why this works. GCW really understands their audience and they really respect their audience. And I think this is one of the reasons why I want to see more WWE guys that were underutilized go into GCW reimagined. I always believe that Fandango was good on the mic, good in the ring. He just didn't have the look that WWE typically goes for when having a top star. And still, nonetheless, Johnny Curtis got he got a complete makeover, guys. Seriously, he got the treatment from WWE. The fancy entrance, the music, the Titantron, like everything you can imagine, WWE gave him something because they saw the potential in him. But WWE also limited his success. And I think just like Matt Cardona did great things outside of WWE. We've seen him in AEW, Impact, GCW. I think Dirty Dango is going to be a great success wherever he goes. And I also want to talk about this because there are some random rumors floating around that maybe GCW, instead of being on Fight TV or IWTV or any of like these online platforms, there's a rumor floating around that maybe GCW could be popping up with their own TV deal on Vice TV. I would love to get more to the bottom of that. Like, I want to get more information on that, guys, because honestly, if that is the case, that could be a real game changer. And yes, the pun was intended. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you guys a fan of me talking more indie wrestling? All right, guys, NXT 2.0. Yeah, we're going to talk about NXT 2.0 because right now there is a lot of talk behind it. And clearly, if you guys look at my community tab on this channel, you guys love NXT 2.0. I can just see all the votes every week. You guys really, really love NXT 2.0. But here's the thing. WWE USA Network also very happy with NXT 2.0. And after the WWE draft, one of the big questions was, why didn't we see more NXT superstars drafted? We saw Xia Li, we saw Hit Row. Look, guys, here's the thing. With WWE NXT 2.0, the plan is for more NXT call-ups. And it sounds like half of them are going to be in the immediate future, and the other half of the call-ups are expected maybe by Q1 or Q2 of 2022. The reason for this is because USA and WWE are still trying to keep some of the veterans in NXT to help pave the way for the future of the NXT 2.0 brand, because eventually they're going to drop the 2.0 from the name, and then some of these people are going to get called up. So names like Raquel Gonzalez, Frankie Monet, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, right? MSK, like some of these teams, some of these wrestlers, they're not going to be on NXT because they're expected to be called up soon. LA Knight is another great example. So, how is WWE going to do this? Well, the rumor is, and I think this could be really cool, WWE is going to treat NXT like a free agency pool, which is something that they've always done before, but now they're going to actually acknowledge it and build it into a system and a storyline. So the rumor suggests that WWE is basically going to have a free agency pool within NXT, and at any point in time, Raw and SmackDown could sign somebody from NXT. And to make it a big deal, they're going to actually present it as such. Like, hey, from the free agency pool, Raw has decided to sign this person to X amount of contract or whatever. I think this is actually great news. I think it gives it kind of that sports feel that NBA and MLB and NHL and all that stuff. Yeah, like, this is the type of stuff that I want to see in WWE. And the fact that it's even rumored is great. But the fact is, WWE has a lot of talent that they're ready to call up. And obviously, we've seen some call-ups, but now it gets to the point of, like, where do we put them? How do we do this? And I think that's where we go back to the WWE's method of having vignettes, right? Instead of any sort of surprise, WWE is back in the game of creating characters. I think we should all very well expect WWE to now start releasing vignettes and then announcing these free agency signings that came from NXT. All right, guys, and final story of the day, we're going to be talking a little bit about Jorge Masvidal. You may have noticed that he has been seen on AEW television before. He was on Rampage. He gave Chris Jericho a striking knee. And now the news and the rumors, they just keep getting nice and hot. Jorge Masvidal has a couple fights left on his UFC contract, and now it's basically being said, very, very interesting rumor. Once he plans on retiring from the UFC, he will, in fact, go to pro wrestling. Now, this is something that's been guessed a lot prior to Jorge Masvidal ever even stepping in a wrestling ring, because everybody admired Jorge Masvidal's passion for everything outside of UFC, but also it's not like hidden knowledge, right? Like, everybody knows Masvidal's a wrestling fan. Some of his shtick that he carries with himself in the UFC is also kind of like some pro wrestling antics. There's obviously a lot of pro wrestling inspired. The belief is that he will sign with AEW. Now, the real question is, does AEW actually sign him, right? And what do they sign him for? Because if you're AEW, Jorge Masvidal is not going to be a cheap contract. But also, how does this affect plans in the long term? Jorge Masvidal isn't on a big win streak right now in the UFC, and there's still a little bit more information that we're waiting for in terms of his next UFC fight. But a lot of people do believe, especially because his career has been so long, a lot of people do believe that retirement, coming sooner than later is not out of the question. So if Jorge Masvidal comes to AEW, how would you guys book him? And would you like to see Jorge Masvidal get like the Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar treatment? I'm very curious because I know AEW fans, us wrestling fans, are very weird about celebrities and people outside of wrestling coming into wrestling. But I think the guy looks like a star, so I'm all for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you again for watching. This is DPW, and I'll see you guys next time right here on YouTube.